Council now come to order. February 8th, 2022. Today's Accommodation Day. And we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, then we'll get a roll call. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Carlson.
Here.
Maniscalco. Here. Dingfelder. Citro. Vieira. Miranda.
Here.
And Goods.
Here.
We have a physical quorum.
Madam Clerk, just for the record, this is accommodation day. Mr. Dingfelder and Mr. Citro did submit memos, and we'll receive and file those on Thursday morning. All right? All right, gentlemen, we'll go to first item up for bid right now is presentation for Police Officer Month, but that is going to be moved to next month per a memo by Mr. Citro in the Police Department.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Carlson. No motions, right? No motions today.
All right.
We'll do that on Thursday. All right, we'll do it on Thursday. Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, I think item number 4 is also scratched for the day. I think that was Mr. Vieira's person, and that's Mr. Vieira. We're going to move that to March. Is that well too, sir? Or is that?
Yes, sir, if I may. And also, we had requested that Mr. Van Hassett go
At that time, because he needs to be out of here by 10:45.
So we want to put number 9 in 4 spot, correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You recognize? All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Shelby, today, huh? All right. Okay, motion by Mr. Vieira. Is second? Second by Mr. Maniscalco. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion granted. Item number 9 will go in spot 4. All right. Anything else, gentlemen, on there before we start? Madam Clerk?
That first one for Police Officer Month.
Yes, ma'am. No, we made that for number 4. It's going to go for 9. So 9 is going to go in the spot for 4. All right, motion to continue item number 1 by Mr. Carlson. Second, please. Second by Ms. Maniscalco. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion granted. All right. No, number 2 is going to be done. I see number 2 is down there. All right, so we ready to start, Madam Clerk? All right, item number 2 then. Presentation of ATU 1464 Employee of the Month. Steve, bring more people in the police department, bring. Look at it.
Sorry about that. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Council, and good morning, City of Tampa. I'm Steve Simon, President of ATU Local 1464, and we're here to recognize the ATU Employee of the Month. She is known to many, but seen by only a few. She is the calming, reassuring voice at the other end of the line when you encounter Oracle issues and aren't sure what to do. She'll carefully walk you through the city's tuition reimbursement procedures so that you don't lose out on an important employee benefit. She's the one that many employees turn to when they just need to speak to someone who will make them feel glad they called. Her name is Jonette Sokol. But she will always say, "You can call me Joe." She is the training technician in the Human Resources Training and Development Office, whose extraordinary talents have made her a valuable asset to the division. Joe consistently demonstrates outstanding service with passion and a positive, supportive attitude. New employees are introduced to her during our virtual orientation sessions, and each employee leaves knowing that Joe will remain their quote-unquote HR lifeline long after their onboarding ends. Joe's savvy technical skills and creative vision has served her many times while collaborating with other business units to design training solutions. When the Emergency Management Office needed a way to accurately track the required NIMS training, Joe developed a short instructional video and job aid to help 4,000 plus employees receive credit for completing and documenting their training. This has also provided a reliable way to pull completion analysis for the EM office. During COVID restrictions, when the Records Management Division of the City Clerk's Office needed a way to convert one of their in-class courses into a virtual on-demand session, Joe assisted in getting this critical training online. It is now available anytime to employees for compliance requirements and as a refresher. When the police department needed a solution to bridge access to the human trafficking awareness training sponsored by Hillsborough County, Joe worked with county representatives to build the bridge, and as a result, city employees received this critically important education prior to several large local events. This training helped alert employees to possible signs of trafficking activity and educated them on ways to report it. The many ways in which Joe has been instrumental in providing impactful business solutions to others is countless. We received comments throughout the year about how helpful Joe has been, what a difference she has made, and also what a pleasure it is to work with her. Joe is a rock-solid employee whose whole heart is in the development and welfare of other employees. In the true spirit of instructing to make a difference, to impart real understanding, Joe's greatest joy is when something complex is made clear for others through her careful guidance. Thus, she is driven to find solutions, if only to make a situation better for someone else. Likewise, her work ethic is impeccable. She is a true role model who exemplifies what is to be a proud City of Tampa employee and who displays exceptional commitment. She is fun and she's funny, and you don't have to be in her presence long to catch her infectious spirit. The Training and Development Division is extremely proud and fortunate to have her as part of our team and to be able to share her extraordinary gifts with others. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to a few that would like to have a few words.
Oh, yes, well. Good morning, City Council. I'm Kay Hunter, Training Manager, and I have the pleasure and privilege of working with Joe every single day. Joe is part of our 3-person team in the Training Division, and she is so instrumental. We wanted this opportunity to have the other employees see who Joe is because they talk to her all the time. And if you've joined the city within the last 6 to 7, going on 7 years now, you've had that opportunity to be in her presence, to be able to benefit from some of her guidance, and so you already know what I'm talking about. We get calls all the time about how helpful Joe has been, not only in, like we had said, making complex things simple for them to understand, but being able to walk away feeling good about it and not being afraid to pick up the phone and give us a call again. That's always very important for us, for Joe, to let them know that anytime you have a question, you just simply pick up the phone and you call someone in HR. And a lot of times they'll call Joe, even whenever it's nothing about training. So she's, as we said, she's always cheerful. She has an infectious spirit. When you come to work, if you're kind of in a down mood, you only need to be in Joe's company for just a few minutes before your spirits are lifted. She's fun to be around. She's never in a bad mood. I have never seen Joe have a bad day. I don't think any of us have. And even sometimes whenever we're really tried and tested and we have oracle issues and it becomes stressful, Joe is that calming voice. She figures out a way not only how to work through the issues, but to look forward and to figure out how do we get through this together. So our team, Lita Putney, who is also part of our team, we are so fortunate to have Joe with us. She's an example every day of excellent customer service. I could go on and on and on and probably write a book, but I won't take up everyone's time because time is precious, and that's one of the things that Joe knows well, is how to meet deadlines, how to work towards goals and deadlines. And again, we are just so very, very fortunate to be able to share this moment with everyone, and we're very proud and blessed to have Joe part of the HR team and the training team as well. So thank you, Joe, for everything that you do.
Ms. Debbie, is Councilman Vieira down there? Is Councilman Vieira down there?
I believe so.
Have him come to the podium,
Okay.
please.
Y'all see Vieira? Excuse me.
Morning
What's up,
again.
Mr. Chair?
Morning again, sir. We're shorthanded this morning. I can't come down there. You're the second in charge of the ATU. If you would read the accommodation for me, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Want me to read it?
Yes, sir.
In recognition of Jeanette Jo Sokol, the ATU Employee of the Month, for your exceptional performance of duty as a training support technician with Human Resources Training and Development Office. Since joining the City of Tampa in 2015, you have consistently demonstrated outstanding service with passion and a positive supportive attitude. When city employees encounter Oracle issues, you are the calming, reassuring voice at the center end of the line. Joe's savvy technical skills and creative vision have served her many times. In fact, when the Emergency Management Office needed a way to accurately track the required NIMS training, she developed a short instructional video and job aid to help over 4,000 employees receive credit for competing and documenting their training. This is just one example, because she created other solutions for Records Management Division and the Tampa Police Department. You are an amazing asset to your department. The City Council of the City of Tampa is proud to present this commendation for Jeanette Sokol, who is known to her department as a rock-solid employee whose whole heart is in the development and welfare of other employees.
Thank you, sir. I think, Mr. Vieira, I think we have some goodies for the employee. And then we'll have her speak. Mr.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Joe, we appreciate you and all that you do and your participation in keeping the City of Tampa running. And as a token of our appreciation, it is our honor and privilege on behalf of ATU Local 1464 to present you with this $100 gift card. Also, I would like to give you a commendation from Mayor Castor.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Good morning, Council. Steve Michelini on behalf of a variety of commercial enterprises. Would like to present Janetta with a gift certificate so that she can enjoy a visit to the YMCA. On behalf of the Chicho's Restaurant Group, we're providing you with a gift certificate so you can enjoy yourself over there at any one of their restaurants. On behalf of Yummy House China Bistro, we're providing you with a gift certificate so you can enjoy yourself for dinner. And Bella Brava, Tampa Midtown, we're providing you with a gift certificate so you can enjoy yourself over there. So congratulations, we appreciate what you do for the city, and thank you very much.
All right, if she'd like to come to the podium and say a few words, Mr. Simon? If she'd like to come to the podium and say a few words?
Hi, it's really an honor to receive this acknowledgement from the fellow ATU employees. And, you know, I'm surrounded, as you can see, by a great team in HR, a lot of unsung heroes in our section who work tirelessly to help the employees every single day. So I just want to say thank you so very much, and I'm very humbled by this honor. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Any council members? Mr. Maniscalco, you recognize, sir.
Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. We certainly appreciate you as a member of the City of Tampa family for all that you do and your team. It's a testament of how hard you work and how much you're appreciated with all the people behind you and all the people in the room. So again, congratulations, and we thank you very much for all your work.
Thank you.
Mr. Cross, you recognize?
Thanks so much for all you do, and same thing, obviously you have a lot of fans, so thank you for all you do.
Mr. Miranda, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can see and I can count, and I have never seen a contingency this large for one of these ceremonies. So either you really liked and you're really adorned, and I know you do the work of many, and you are a person who sets the standards for others. But the crowd around you just tells me that you really, really wanted and really, really need it. So congratulations to you and everything you've done for other citizens in the city of Tampa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I as I was listening to the bio, you know, I use that word infection sometimes. And I always say the infection of success. And obviously you have that infection upon people because you have this magnitude of people that are here today, and from what I'm hearing and looking, seeing, that is a great infection to have. So we thank you for the work you're doing for the city, and again, have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll get to item number 3 once they clear out.
Congratulations. You did it.
Yep. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. It's my great pleasure here today to give a Tampa City Council commendation to my friends with the Junior League of Tampa for what is a real momentous occasion. But before I want to introduce some of the good folks we have here today, we have Taylor Jones, the president of the Junior League of Tampa, Emily Reed, the community director, Kelly McCarthy, the community assistance manager, Carolyn Foss, the Basic Needs Strategic Advisor, and Lindsay Sierra, the prior chair of the Diaper Bank when this commendation was originally given. So with this, we had originally given this commendation a few, maybe 3 or 4 months ago or so, and we wanted to present it because this is such a wonderful, momentous occasion for the Junior League of Tampa and for the city of Tampa today. And I'll read very briefly from the commendation. It states in relevant part, Tampa City Council commends the Junior League of Tampa Diaper Bank on celebrating your million milestone, distributing 1 million diapers since the inception of this effort years ago. 1 million diapers. And it's funny because this really speaks to, and I'm sure our friends at the Junior League are going to talk about this, the critical need that we have in this area in the city of Tampa whenever it comes to poverty, especially child poverty. The basic things that a lot of people take for granted, being able to feed your child, being able to provide transportation for your child, a better tomorrow for your child, and diapers for your child are things that are out of reach of too many, not just within the city of Tampa, but within unincorporated Hillsborough County. I know the Junior League of Tampa does a lot of wonderful work in rural areas where we have a lot of migrant workers and farm worker families who are all too often denied the dignity that we all should have as a result of being alive. So I wanted to allow my friends with the Junior League to come up to speak briefly, or not briefly, as long as y'all want. I just say that as a matter of custom, so don't read anything into that. But to speak on this wonderful effort again, 1 million diapers. That is such a wonderful achievement for compassion, and so I think it's so worthy to salute them. So go ahead, ladies. Go ahead.
Councilman Vieira and the members of the City Council, on behalf of the nearly 2,000 women that make up the Junior League of Tampa, we wish to thank you for this incredible honor of a commendation recognizing our work with the Diaper Bank. It's hard to believe that just 4 years ago, there was no diaper bank serving in Hillsborough County. Since this past summer, when Councilman Vieira visited our warehouse at Metropolitan Ministries, we are proud to have partnered with 16 community partners to distribute over 1 million diapers into our community. Our community, like much of our country, has been deeply impacted by diaper need, and only more so during the pandemic. Diaper need impacts 1 in 3 families in the U.S., and there is no government safety net program which allocates dollars for diapers. Diapers are a linchpin in the cycle of poverty, as without them, children cannot attend daycare and their parents cannot attend work or school. During the pandemic, we saw the need for diapers in our community rise by over 200%, as families who had never received government assistance before needed it for the first time. Our organization had to be agile to meet this need despite the restrictions of the pandemic. Our volunteers pivoted from 40-person packings to packing alone at home with their families, and our partners worked with us to accept direct distributions and shipments. We are proud to have continued to serve our partners without interruption throughout the pandemic. Our work is nowhere near done. The need is deep in Hillsborough County, and the past few years have only created new challenges for Florida's families. What is certain is that we will continue to fight to eliminate diaper need and ensure the families in our community have access to these critical supplies that children and families need to thrive. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Chairman, we'll hand it off to you, sir.
All right, anybody? Ms. Carlson, recognized.
Thanks so much for all you do for this program, but also all the other many, many programs that you all involved in. I've seen firsthand the great work that you all do, and shout out to my legislative aide, Dossie, who's also a member of Junior League and have lots of friends there. So appreciate everything you all do.
Mr. Miranda, you recognize?
I want to thank each and every one of you and all your members in the Junior League. Although it's diaper bank doesn't sound like much, and $1 million is certainly a lot. When I guess my generation and my wife's generation was maybe when we had our first two children in the early 60s, it comes out to be that diaper service was just coming into the forefront of the new era. Well, some of us had the money to get the diapers, and some of us did not. Now you can imagine those that did not, what they had to go through. And it's time consuming, as Councilman Vieira put up those kind words, and it was not only time consuming, it prohibited you from even going out getting a part-time job, because your part-time job was what? Cleaning diapers. And that's not the nicest thing in the world to have to do. But you survived, and during that era, it's how you realize that inventions are made for the cause of the people. And when you look at what a diaper does, it gives the mother or the father the opportunity to go out and work and not to spend hours just cleaning diapers. And although it sounds very simple, it's not. What you, with Vieira and what the young lady just spoke about is correct. It takes an awful lot of time away from doing other things that are beneficial to the family, like income. So I want to thank you for doing from the bottom of all of our hearts. What you do is things that's very necessary. Congratulations. Keep doing the work you do. You guys are always the best. Thank you very much.
Mr. Scalf?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You know, I am always proud to say that I serve as a member of the Community Advisory Board for the Junior League. And I say that proudly because of all the work that you do and all the members do in serving the community. And this commendation today is just a little bit of what everyone does here on a larger scale. And as you know, Councilman Miranda has said, you know, it doesn't sound glamorous, but it's a necessary service that you give this community for so many people in need. Because we are a large community and there are many needs, and you're there at the forefront helping out single parents and parents that may or may not be able to afford this necessity, and it goes a long way. So the impact is huge, and we greatly appreciate you and everything the Junior League does. Thank you.
You know, it's always the little things that are the biggest. And in my community, they say diaper, but usually they say pamper. And Pampers, they cost. And you go to some communities where they're struggling to get that item. And it's a main necessity of living. That's why I say the smallest things are the biggest of value. So we appreciate what the organization does and will continue to do. So you guys have a blessed day. Thank you, Mr. Vieira, for bringing this to our attention, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And we already gave them one off-site a few months ago, so I will give just a copy. But again, we salute the Junior League of Tampa for highlighting such a critical need and making sure that none of us can ignore the poverty in our midst when there are over 1 million diapers given out in our area, such a critical need. So again, we salute you guys for all that you do. God bless you. Thank you. And I'll give this to you. Thank you.
And you have item number 4, number 9 as well, Mr. Vieira? And we're gonna bump, we're scratching number 4, but we're bringing up number 9, correct, sir?
Yes.
All right.
And here we have Mr. Matt Nassif and his wonderful family, and he brought his camera with him, so who would have known, right? It's our great pleasure to have someone here who I know many of us know and count as a good friend, Mr. Matt Nassif. I wanted to honor Matt, who's a friend of mine and a friend of so many people, for 15 years of his business of Joe Photo. And it's not just a business for Matt, as I'll discuss briefly. It's a calling that he does to not only put food on the table for his wonderful, beautiful family who's here, but also to help other people, as I'll talk about. Matt is joined here with his wonderful wife, Nicole, and his children, Sophia, Mateo, and Lucia, who are all here to see their father being honored. Matt, I've had the honor of knowing Matt for about 11 years or so, and I'll talk briefly about that, but Matt is a man of 3 things, among many other things. Matt is a man of family. Whenever you talk to Matt about his family, if you want to see this guy smile, that's the thing to bring up is his family. He loves his family. He's a blessed man, and he knows it. He's got a wonderful family that loves him a lot. Matt is also a man of service. Matt gives a lot back to the community. Always has, always will. By not just by offering discounts, but doing a lot of events for pro bono for different organizations, because he knows that the service that he provides is so critical for so many different organizations to get the word out. And Matt is also an outstanding professional. My personal connection to Matt is the Lawyers Autism Awareness Foundation, a organization that I run with my good friends Kelly Prince Gardner, Jorge Santero, Sandy Santero. Has used Matt for 11 years as our photographer for our sensory-friendly Santa program. We have anywhere from year 1, I think it was 70, then we went up to about 150, 180 kids. Now we're about 130, 140 kids a year. Children with intellectual disabilities, with autism, with different kinds of special needs who come to this organization, to our annual event, to have a century-friendly time with Santa, as played by Judge Nick Nazaritan and Judge Rex Barbas. And Matt's always been our photographer, and he's been a key partner in this over decade-long program that we've done. So it is my great pleasure to introduce my friend, if we may, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Matt Nassif. For 15 years of Joe Photo, giving back to the community, and being the guy with a big smile on his face because of his family. Go ahead, buddy.
Thank you, Councilman.
God bless you, buddy.
Thank you. Welcome. I'm just so happy to be here today. Thank you to Councilman Vieira and also City Council. Thank you very much for having Joe Photo Tampa. Sorry about this. Back in 1989, I had met a photographer by the name of Ed up in Iowa, where I was working and living. While he was photographing my aunt's wedding, I had the privilege to meet him, and he was intrigued by my photography skills, and from 1989 onward, we have been friends ever since. Fast forward to 2007, and Ed and Molly came down to Tampa, Florida for a quick visit, and he knew that I was miserable in my corporate job and asked me, hey, you enjoy photography, why don't you pick up your camera again and open up your own small business? I thought that was a great idea. He said, don't reinvent the wheel. Joe Photo has worked for me for 30-some years. Change it up. So I added the palm tree. I added Tampa. I'm Joe Photo Tampa now. So I incorporated in 2007, 15 years ago. And then I looked at my wife and says, now what? She says, hey, we have great connections with Jesuit High School. Reach out to Jesuit High School and see if they can use a photographer. I've been blessed to say for the last 15 years, Jesuit High School was my first customer and my last customer as of 2 days ago. So great loyal customers base. So throughout my 15 years, I've had a great customer base and I'm blessed for that. So thank you very much to all of them. Currently, 15 years into this, I'm growing just as much as Tampa Bay is growing. Way back in the day, I used to have candid photography, whereas we take photos and send a link to our customers. Then about 12 years ago, I incorporated on-site instant photos, whereas we print on-site. Nowadays, we can walk around taking those same candid photos, and it goes directly into guest cell phones so they can post on social media, which is cutting technology, and everybody loves that service. In closing, I want to basically thank God for everything I have. Without God, we have nothing. So number one, I want to thank God. Number two, I want to thank my lovely wife, Nicole, and my 3 kids behind me for their unwavering support, day in, day out, weekend in, weekend out. Without their support, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thirdly, I want to thank my mentor, Ed, for 15 years of wonderful mentorship. Also, I can't do it alone. I have 4 great photographers in Keith and Shelby and Gary and Connor, and then others whenever needed. So I thank them very much. So in closing, I want to thank the city of Tampa. I want to thank Councilman Vieira and all of you guys in honoring Joe Photo Tampa. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, go for it.
All right, any council members? Mr. Maniscalco, we'll go Mr. Carlson.
Well, congratulations, sir, on your many, many years of service to this community. I, too, appreciate photography, and I appreciate your work. You're everywhere. I mean, how many events do I go to? I see the Joe Photo corporate vehicle outside, or I drive by your house actually every morning I drive by your house. So I see that car. I see you at events. I see, what you do is important. You have to understand the work of a photographer. You're capturing special memories and special moments that people will cherish for many, many years to come. The work that you do, somebody 50 years from now, somebody not even born yet, will look back at your work at the moment that you captured that was so significant that day, or to that family, or to those individuals in those photos. But you're capturing history, and it's and again, people have to understand the service that a photographer does. So you are very important, and you're capturing so much of Tampa's story and Tampa's history as it continues on, because again, you're everywhere, and I see you everywhere, and we appreciate you. And you said it, I mean, the people that hire you for your services, the people that call you, the people, you're a well-respected individual in this community, again, because of the great work that you do. So congratulations. I wish you many, many more years. This is just the first 15. You have many more to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Carlson, recognized.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Your story is the American dream, and what makes our country and our city great, that you took the leap to entrepreneurship. I talk to so many people who are in the same position you were 15, 16 years ago, who are in a job where they don't know what the future is like, but there's a passion that they have that they would like to jump into. And the fear of the unknown and the fear of stepping into something that might not work holds a lot of people back. So if you don't mind, besides the other stories of successful entrepreneurs, I'd like to quote yours also. And so if you have somebody come to you and ask you for advice, it may be because I mention you. But please tell your story more, because we need to inspire more people in the community. Hopefully your kids will be inspired, and please tell your story so the rest of the community can be inspired too. We need more entrepreneurs like you. Thank you.
I like that phrase, Joe Photo. That's real catchy. I like that. Like Mr. Maniscalco said, you give memories to people, lifelong memories that they can flip back and say, man, I remember I was 10 years old and I took that photo. Joe the photo guy took that photo. So thank you for what you do, you and your lovely family. And again, Mr. Vieira, thank you for bringing us to our attention to recognize a true citizen who's doing wonderful work in our community, sir.
Thank you, sir. And it's my pleasure to give this Tampa City Council commendation to Mr. Matt Nassif for 15 years of Joe Photo, my man.
Thank you very much, sir.
You know I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
And by the way, and the most important event that Matt ever did was my wedding about a year ago. So
all right.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Vieira, we'll wait till you get back up so we can continue a quorum, sir. Oh, that's yours? Number 5, yeah. Okay, all right. I want to say yes. will say yes. So is it, man, is it, number 5 is, it's yours, Mr. Scott? Miranda went there, because he has number 6.
Why don't we have them come up?
Can't. We've got a rule in place already, and we can't have anybody come up because the rule's in place. Oh, yeah. Mr. Vieira Miranda. Miss Debbie, are you down there? I need Mr. Miranda and Mr. Vieira to come back up so Mr. Maniscalco can come down.
Yes, sir.
I need Mr. Miranda and Mr. Vieira to come up so Mr. Maniscalco can come down for number 5
Okay.
to continue a quorum, please. Thank you, sir. Mr. Maniscalco? Yes, sir. Mr. Miranda's coming, so by the time he gets down, Mr. Miranda should be back in place. Mr. Maniscalco.
I am.
Miss Edwards?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
I need Mr. Miranda to come back up, and we'll alternate back up, but I gotta have 4 in the chambers.
Okay, yes, Chair.
Okay. We were missing one council member up there. You have to have 4 in the room. If not, we can't.
Protocol.
Yep.
Understood.
That looks like Mr. Valdez down there. Maniscalco, is that Valdez?
Who?
Recognize you.
Who'd you say?
Is that Mr. Valdez down there?
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's asking if it's Mr. Valdez.
It is. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Can I go ahead and start?
I think we can't. We gotta have 4 in the room to start.
He's, Councilman Miranda's on his way back up.
All right, gotta have 4 to start. I know Mr. Shelby's probably looking, so I wanna make sure I do it right. Because you know if I don't, he's gonna call me. No problem. We give you we definitely give you deference, sir. That's not a problem. You may proceed, Mr. Maniscalco.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's my honor this morning to welcome the good people from Bayshore Christian School. Bayshore Christian School began and opened its doors in August of 1971. So we are just over the 50-year mark, but 50 years is is a long time of dedicated service to this community, half a century's worth. I heard the name Bayshore Christian said my whole childhood, my whole life, but only for the positive things, the positive influences of the students of so many people in this community, the success stories that have come out of this school, the enduring reputation, very good reputation of this school. Now, 50 years later, we have Melanie here, who is currently, are you the headmaster or the
head of school, yes.
The head of schools, who took over from her father. He didn't start 50 years ago, but 40 years ago. But it's a legacy. It's a continuation of service to this community. Before I let Melanie come up, I just want to read this Tampa City Council commendation. The Tampa City Council is honored to recognize Bayshore Christian School on their 50th anniversary. Bayshore Christian School opened its doors in August of 1971, and they began their journey with a total of 130 students. And by 1983, the school was able to serve students in preschool through the 12th grade. Since 1971, they have renovated and constructed facilities on their sprawling 10-acre campus. And before Bayshore Christian School, they boast a diverse student body. The school is recognized for its Christian values, small class sizes, and academic excellence. Every teacher knows every student's name, and more importantly, every teacher cares about every student in their classroom. Tampa City Council and its citizens are proud to have such an esteemed school in our community, and it is our profound honor as Tampa City Council and privilege to present Bayshore Christian School with this commendation on this 8th day of February, 2021.
Thank you so much.
What? I'm sorry? Oh, 2022. 2022, I'm sorry. We're still in that transition period from the new year. Go ahead.
No worries. Well, thank you, Chairman and City Council. Thank you for this amazing honor. We are so very proud and honored to serve and have been serving our community for 50 years. I have some outstanding students with me that I would like to introduce. We have our senior, Michael Hannon, who has been with us since K2. He's one of our lifers and had been with us for 16 years. We have our junior, Sydney Walker, and a sophomore, Jace Jarasat. All of these students are outstanding leaders, outstanding athletes, but most importantly, amazing contributors to our community. So we are so very honored and proud to serve the Bayshore community here in Tampa Bay, and what a blessing it is to have been serving for 50 years. Thank you so very much for this honor. We will continue to serve our community proudly. We can't wait to see what the next 50 year holds. So thank you so very much for this honor.
Good.
I think they're going to say stuff.
Any council members? All right, Mr. Vieira?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, congratulations on 50 years. You know, I did some research and I saw some of the outreach that you all do in our community, and I think that's so critical that whenever you have a school that is a religious school, in this instance a Christian school, that you have to be Christian, which you all are. You know what I'm saying? Which is you have to reach out to the community and make sure that you cast a wide net, so to speak. And that's something that's so critical and important. I went to a Christian school for all my high school and junior high and elementary years, and I'm certainly the better for it. I always joke with people that I know my Bible better than a lot of folks do because of that, because I went to Bible class every single day, and again, those are rock solid core values that have always stayed with me. So thank you guys for all that you do. I know that you all have educated just generations of kids, and now young men and women who are going to be better for it. So thank you guys for all that you do, and God bless you.
Mr. Carlson, recognized.
Yeah, thank you all for all you do, and congrats for 50 years. My kids have been to your summer camps almost every year, and they love it, and it's very well run. The people are nice, and they love all the programming. So thank you, not only for the contribution to the community, but also my kids.
Thank you again for doing what you do very well, and more likely better than others. But I see a gentleman in the background there who I've known for quite a long period of time, and he's one of the foundation bricks that brought this school from where it was to where it is today. And I'd like to say hi to Mr. Herman Valdez. Would you like to say a couple of words?
Want to say something?
Yes, I am honored to be here with my precious daughter who continues the legacy at Bayshore Christian School on this fine day, which is my birthday. What a better gift I could have gotten. So thank you, City Council, City of Tampa, which has changed dramatically from the time Charlie and I were in high school, but it's all good and it's all going to get better. Thank you and God bless all of you.
Thank you, sir. And I also realize that anytime there was a basketball team that went to play at Bayshore Christian, there was a problem. They would lose because of the coach that they had. You were outstanding in mentoring minds of young people and making them play like a team, not as individuals. Congratulations for setting the bar high, not only in athletics, but in education.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Charlie. That's meaningful.
Well, two legends today, I tell you. Two legends today. I remember Mr. Valdez when I was the SRO down at Robinson High School. And I think he became the principal of Monroe, I believe. Yep. So I remember about that basketball as well, Mr. Ray. I remember when he left to go over to Bayshore. So I too know Mr. Valdez. That's why I looked in the back. I said, I know, is that Valdez? This is Officer G, Mr. Valdez.
Oh, thank you.
So just, it's a blessing to have you here today. Your birthday today, sir. Great celebration. So great job you've done with the school. You handed the baton over to your daughter, which I know she's doing a great job and will continue to do so. But again, thank you for the many, many accomplishments, sir.
Thank you, and to God be the glory.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Maniscalco, Mr. Miranda, jot down, and you'll drop back up.
Thank you. 39? We don't count past 39.
Well, you know, I have a number, but it's unlisted.
Happy birthday.
Can we take one picture
Thank you.
out of the steps?
You don't have to be on the next now. No, I think I'm just gonna introduce you guys. All right, yes, sir, yes, sir. She was 68. I was over 10. We're gonna be on the news.
Hey, he's back. He's back.
He's asleep. We'll wake him up in a minute.
That Palmer down there?
Coach Thompson, right?
Yeah.
That Coach Palmer down there?
Hey, Coach Palmer. Yeah. You're Orlando.
All right.
I'll introduce you. We'll have it. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and council members. I'm indeed honored this morning to be here with a group of individuals from a high school named Jesuit. And when you go to Jesuit, you not only went to a high school that's great in academia, but a high school that's very well known for its talent in sports. When you look at their football team, you can remember things that have been done in the past by individuals who were there, and they've set the bar real high for others to follow. And that's what makes that high school what it is today. Jesuit, I remember when I was a young man, was behind Sacred Heart. It was a small school, very few in attendance. Now when you drive by Jesuit, it's not really a high school. It's called the University of Jesuits because it looks like a university. It has this feel of a university. It has the people inside, the young men, they're working to better themselves. And when they do that, they better the society in which they live in. And thank God that society is here in the city of Tampa. At this time, it's about recognition to head coach Matt Thompson and his coaching staff, to the undefeated 15-0, 15 wins, and to come behind like they did with very little time in that fourth quarter, it gives that team one thing that most teams don't have. They do not want to lose. The difference between a winner and a loser A loser falls and doesn't get up. This team had the fortitude to say we're not going to leave here in second place. And that's how it is in sports, and that's how it is really in life. So what this coach has done and his coaching staff, and we also have with us, is amazing. But we also have with us, back in 1968, was the last time the Jesuit won a state championship in football. That was only like 54 years ago. So it seems like a dream. It seems like something that was yesterday, but it was 54 years ago. And this individual was there in 1968, and that's our own restaurateur deluxe. He's done an outstanding job with every restaurant he's ever touched and managed and owned, Mr. Gonsmart. And this time, Coach Thompson, if you may, just come in and introduce the team and your staff, and then I'll have Mr. Gonsmart and the special guest that he brought with us that was a surprise to all of us, and a great surprise, is here with us.
Thank you. Good morning. Just want to say we're humbled at Jesuit High School to receive this accommodation. I'd like to introduce a couple of the guys in the back behind me who are instrumental in our success. One is Don Misick. He's our offensive coordinator. Daryl Palmer is our defensive coordinator. And then our captains, Caleb Williams, AJ Cottrell, Junior Vandeross, Traquan Alexander, Connor Shiraz, and Joe Quest Smith. Again, I'd like to just truly tell you that we're truly humbled by this accommodation, and thank you again. Go Tigers. Oh, one more, Wade Woodaz also is captain.
At this time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Gonsmart, who will introduce a guest, a surprise guest, that has done something not only in the academia, but in sports together, which is very rare. Richard.
Good morning. It's my honor to be here with fellow players from the current state championship team. But I was honored to be a sophomore on this team that was led by one individual. Tonight we will have a premiere of a documentary at Tampa Theater named Leonard, George, and the Tigers, talking about the challenges this gentleman faced along with our team when we played up in Dufuniak Springs and in different cities. We were the state champions playing at what was the old Tampa Sombrero, playing Lakeland Kathleen. It's because of this gentleman that I wanted to strive to be better, and he has inspired that I know people that have gone on to actually win a Super Bowl that I coached one year at Jesuit. My friend, our teammate, a wonderful person, Mr. Leonard George.
Thank you, Richard. Coach Constant, Jesuit players, thank you so much. It's a wonderful thing to be here because it's being a part of the Jesuit family. And it doesn't matter that it's this day or yesterday, or whether it's 1968 or whether it's 2021. It goes to the same thing. We're all brothers. We all have brotherhood, and that's what makes it very special. There's something on the field, but also off the field, where we're able to do really wonderful things. And today I would like to be able to read what is being presented by the Tampa City Council. It's presented to the Jesuit High School 2021 Class 6A State Football Champions. And head coach Matt Compton. The Tampa Council is honored to present this accommodation to the Jesuit Tigers and their head coach, Matt Compton, who successfully secured the Class 6A state championship that since eluded Jesuit since 1968. That was the first time, and that was the last time until recently. It was a maximum achievement. It should be recognized that Jesuit completed its undefeated 2021 season with a 15-0 record, ranking them number 8 in the whole nation by the Max Prep and the USA Today. It's the highest national ranking of any Tampa Bay area school in the 15 years at the Max Prep national rankings. To their credit, this mighty team pulled off a dramatic, and I was down there with our other 68 teammates rooting them on for sure. And they made a wonderful four-quarter rally and defeated Pensacola Pine Forest 25-29, securing the coveted 6-8 state football state championship. Once again, congratulations for Jesuit High School and Coach Mac Thompson and all the 2021 champion Tigers. It is a treasure that we present with you this combination on this 8th day of February 2022. Congratulations, Coach, and the back to the coach. Thank you, guys.
If I may, and the reason I brought Mr. George up, he set so many standards and during his life that I'll have Mr. Gansmark read them into the record of today's hearing, because he's an outstanding individual and he was a bearer of change and did it in the right way.
This is the gentleman that it's humble that I've always looked forward to. And when we couldn't find him, and we did, I was so honored. So that you will realize that Leonard was the first African American to ever sign a scholarship to the University of Florida. Imagine.
Wow.
Leonard George was the first African American to score a touchdown in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. Imagine those times. And he does it as part of the team. And he doesn't ever try to boast, but I must. A gentleman that we should all strive to be like, Leonard George, who went on to become an attorney. And after he finished ball, he played with the Miami Dolphins. I'm proud to have Leonard George as my friend, as an alumni Jesuit who represents. And I thank you, Leonard, for being here with all of us and these young men. I know that you inspire me and you will inspire generations to come. Thank you.
I'm proud to be proud of the Jesuit family. Thank you so much.
And again, just in closing, congratulations not only in what you do on the field, but what you do off the field. To all of you young men who attend there, the road is set for you to go forward. And I see that safety there. If I was playing football and I see a safety like that, I'd run the wrong way. That movie was about me. I wasn't going to hit this guy, I'll tell you that. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
Hold on, Mr. Miranda. Mr. Miranda? Mr. Miranda? You forgot, Mr. Miranda? We
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. Just a second. The council wants to talk to you guys.
Bring them back. Bring them back. Bring them back.
The council would like to speak, and I'm sorry for being so involved with the Jesuits that I forgot.
It's the excitement, sir. We're in the locker room, sir. We're in the locker room right now. Mr. Vieira, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you very much, and what a pleasure it is to see everybody there today. A lot of great faces. You know, the motto of Jesuit is men for others. Obviously, you all excel in sports and in competition on the field, but and you all get this hit into you all every single day. But just, you know, when I think of Jesuit, I think of people that I've had the privilege of knowing, people like Mr. Gansmart, people like my good friend Steve Barbas, people like my good friend Lincoln Tamayo. Such a great guy, a University of Florida law school graduate, went to Notre Dame, and he's one of the headmaster at Academy Prep. People like Judge Charles Wilson and so many others who live their lives in service to other people. That to me is what Jesuit is all about, and that to me is what I say that as a Catholic, I think the Catholic faith is all about. So just God bless you guys. Congratulations. And Mr. Miranda, or Councilman Miranda, thank you, sir, for bringing this forward. Thank you, sir.
Scalco?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations. What an honor. You know, the last time, 1968, and now, you know, you're champions once again. And you just add to that Champa Bay. You know, it's not just at the national level, the professional level, it's at the high school level where you're champions, and you work very hard to achieve that. My high school career started at Jesuit, and it ended at Tampa Catholic, but I was there at least half the time. And, you know, I saw Jesuit before all the changes 20 years ago. Now it looks like a college campus. But when I was there, it looked like it did when Mr. Gonsmart was there. As a matter of fact, I think we had some of the same teachers because there were many that were still around from the early days. And even some of the priests like Father Hartnett and Father Kennelly that I had the pleasure and honor of knowing before they passed away. Those were the original individuals that helped build that campus there on Himes. But, you know, the Jesuit family is so important. I call it Tampa's biggest fraternity because even though, you know, it's not just a high school. Jesuit is respected and recognized all over the place. You go to Europe, you go to Cuba, you go to wherever, and you say a Jesuit education, and it's the highest standard. It really is. And people respect that and people know that name. And you're part of that. You're champions, not just, you know, on the playing field, but you're champions in the classroom. You're champions here in our community, and we are all very, very proud of you. You're carrying on that legacy. You're lifting up that Jesuit name. Councilman Vieira said it, men for others. You are men for others. You are here in service, and we appreciate you. And we're very, very proud of you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Carson.
Thank you all for all you've done, and congratulations to coaches and players. Thank you for bringing Leonard George. What an incredible person, incredible story. Thank you for sharing him with us, and hope we can highlight his story more going forward. It's interesting, Guido was just talking about the Jesuit schooling. I've noticed that in Tampa, a lot of the top leaders in Tampa, and especially a lot of the top CEOs, went to Jesuit. And although Richard Gonsmart is remarkable on his own, and he was just on national TV the other day, by the way, promoting Tampa, there were hundreds, if not thousands, of great leaders in Tampa and elsewhere that had the Jesuit education. And I lived in Singapore for a few years, and it happens that the top CEOs in Singapore went to a Jesuit high school also. And so I started asking some of your colleagues, why is that? And it's the values that, it seems to be the values that you all teach, that one of my colleagues was talking about a minute ago. And I want to hear more about that, because if we somehow, Jesuit has a limited capacity, if we somehow could take some of the values that you all have in teaching collaboration, leadership, responsibility, et cetera, if we could spread that more throughout the community, we imagine how great our community could be and how many phenomenal entrepreneurs we could have like Richard Gonsmart. Thank you.
Well, something I do know, I don't know a lot about being Catholic because I'm not Catholic. I didn't go to Jesuit, and it's one of the prominent schools. But, gentlemen, I can tell you football brings on prominence. Jesuit is a school that has an athletic background in this community and across the country. I can tell you that athletics brings out the best of any student. Everyone can't be academically inclined, but some have special gifts that gets them to the next level. That all they know is athletics. That helps them with their studies. But when you have good coaches who can give them the tools to be great athletes, to be great stewards of their community, and give them those tools of manhood, it's a total different person. I know Coach Palmer. We've coached a long time together. I ain't coached in many, many years, but I'm just itching right now because I feel like I'm in the locker room. Like I want to go put on my hat and my whistle. You know, I look at these young men and I see the greatness. Look how they're standing, that shirt and that tie, that coat on that Friday, Mr. Palmer. Every school has that. Every school has that shirt and tie. If they don't have that winning spirit. And when you have that winning spirit, I always tell people in the clutches of a ball game, I always say, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. See, coaches are shaking their head. They know what I mean when I say don't be that guy. Know your assignment. So you got to be educated to understand the playbook. You have to make decisions that can cost a team because the momentum can change at any moment, at any time. So I understand because I've been there. I have some championship rings. So you guys, I like to see that ring and go out there and look at the ceremony when you guys get them because that's going to be a big day, a big moment for you guys because you're itching for it. You've been asking about it. But I just like to thank the coaches who are volunteering their time to go out there to make these young men into men. And I know you're going to have great success. And you look at the legend. I always call Mr. Miranda the legend because he inspires us here. He's been around a long time. He can tell us things that I wouldn't have imagined. So I saw what he did today by, even though it's Black History Month this month, but he was able to get Mr. Gunsmore, who's a legend in his own time here, to bring back a legend of Jesuit. I didn't know about that. So he just educated all of us. Thank you, Mr. Miranda, for that, because I did not know about that gentleman. Did not know anything about that. So again, we can learn something every day, and I'm glad that you're on this council and you taught us a lesson today, and I'm just proud of that. Palmer and Coach, we appreciate you. Wait for next season. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thanks again, guys. You're the greatest, man.
Yes, sir.
Not only because you won, because you stick together to win.
Mr. Miranda's up again with the volleyball with Tampa, with UT, and we'll wait for Mr. Mescato get back into the Bring him on in, Miss Debbie. We're just waiting for Mr. Maniscalco to come back into the room. We're doing volleyball or we're doing football?
Huh?
I have number 7 as the volleyball team.
They're not here.
They're not here. Okay. I see Coach Sayo down there.
It's Berkeley.
I know all the coaches. We got to wait till Mr. Maniscalco comes back into the room and then we'll start, okay? Here he is. He's coming now. Yeah, I'll do Berkeley, but Mr. Miranda's probably down taking pictures with the Jesuit team. Just ask Mr. Miranda if he could come back inside for me, and he can do we can do Berkeley as well. Mr. Miranda, if you can do this one for me, this was my my accommodation to the team. If you can do it for me, and
I remember he was a Jesuit. I remember that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know you're busy up there being the chairman of the council, and I appreciate the opportunity to pinch hit for you. And this is about Berkeley Preparatory School 2021-2022 football season. You know, when you look at all the young men that we had here prior and today, you can see that it's not only athletics, but it's education. All these individuals from this Berkeley Preparatory School and from Jesuit and from Berkeley that was here earlier, it's just an amazing thing what they've done. Not only do they prepare themselves physically for life, but more importantly, mentally. And you have to be strong-minded before you're physically. And there's a coach here that I've known for a long time, Coach Sile, and he's in the background and he's done an outstanding job. This school has finished, I believe, in what, second in the whole state? Finishing second in the state of Florida with 22 million people is no easy task. They've done an outstanding thing. They finished their season 12-1. How many elected officials can say they've done 13 elections and won 12? Not very many. Not many at all. Maybe never. But this school has done that. This school finished second in the whole. They defeated Plant, Tampa Catholic, Robinson, Brandon in the regular season. The Bucks averaged 30 points a game and made their one loss, a thriller. So, Coach, would you come forward, please? And there is no regrets other than not winning the last game to make you also a state champion. But what you've done in that school since you've been there, I know you've been there now for quite a while, and not that you're old or anything, just for quite a while. And Coach, what you've done there is an outstanding job, but you also have had the kids that were brought up with the idea of not to lose. If you lose, you try again. And these young men do not, I look at them now, they look like collegiate football players because you've worked them into shape and you've done the things you had to do to win. And if you may, tell the people who are watching today how you mentor these kids and how you get them to excel in what they do.
Thank you. First, this is a great honor. I'd like to thank the city of Tampa. I'm with our athletic director, Coach Reinhardt, our linebacker, Trey Reeder, our center, James Cabacles, one of our running backs, Travis Bates, and a wideout running back, and Xavier Townsend. I was fortunate to have great players who made a bunch of great plays, and great assistant coaches did a great job of coaching. So truly fortunate. You win with great people, and I was surely surrounded by great people. So to the council, please, thank you very much. This is a great honor. God bless you.
Anyone? Mr. Maniscalco?
Well, congratulations, Coach. You are Coach Dominic Sayo, right?
I am.
You were my health teacher back at Jesuit.
I know. I can't believe I passed you.
So lots of good memories today. Lots of great people. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
I've known you 20 years or so.
I know.
And you're a pillar of this community, very well respected. And I'm glad to see you here, and glad to see the folks behind you. And I thank them for everything. We're all very, very proud of you. And congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. You made it special.
All right, Lewis, and then we'll go to Mr. Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's funny how people come back from your history, isn't it, publicly? Just congratulations to you young men for this wonderful achievement. I know that you all worked very, very hard for it. You know, sports is something that you have to stay at it. And it's, everybody, when you reach, there's certain ages when you reach, I used to play baseball as a little kid, 12, 13, then when you turn 13 or 14, that's when you probably get a lot of kids dropping off because they become teenagers and they're like, okay, I'm done with this. But y'all stay with it and look at y'all now and the great achievements that y'all have. And I know that no matter what y'all do in your lives, whether it's sports or professional or whatever it is, that you're going to carry with you that hard work and determination. So just congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Mr. Carlson?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you and for representing our community and congratulations. Thank you.
Well, Coach, I can remember when I was with Big Daddy Joe Severino for many, many years. And you were over at Jesuit over there, so it's traditional. It's the experience. And you've taken your, God knows how many years of coaching experience over to Berkeley Prep. And it's shown. You built a winner over there. I tell people it's hard to get those scoops of ice cream to get to the state those scoops, those 5 scoops. Very difficult. But you made it there. And I just want to say that the Tampa Bay area, because council members, many years, Hillsborough was always lagging behind going to state championships for many years. You know, it used to always be Manatee County, Polk, Pasco, but now Hillsborough is the cream of the crop now. We're doing what we need to do and building champions and building young men to come back, to give back. And that's what we're seeing when Mr. Carlson talking about a lot of the Jesuit folks are CEOs around here. These guys play ball, and they come back and give back and serve in their communities. And I'm just, you know, when I saw Jesuit getting one, I said, it's hard to be a champion, Mr. Miranda. You know how hard it is. You coached. So I want to recognize Berkeley Prep and Tampa Bay Tech for their efforts of getting to the state, because I know how hard it is to get there. I coached high school ball. So, gentlemen, congratulations for getting there. This is not the end for you 4. Their greatness still is coming for you guys. So God bless you all, and thank you again, Coach, for all that you've done for many years. Thank you so much.
Just one more thing, Mr. Chairman. This gathering here today was proposed by Chairman Goods, and I want to give him the recognition of bringing this fine Berkeley Preparatory School here today for this award. Also, in the last 32 years, they've been to 20 playoffs, a record that's very hard to beat. And from what I understand, 11 of the senior class have already inked and signed a contract to play further, not only in sports, but their education in some university or college in the great country of the United States of America. So thank you all again for setting the bar and the standard that high.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Maniscalco, Mr. Miranda's going to come up. Can you take the helm on this one? Because I'm going to go down from my high school, so if you don't mind. Tampa Bay Tech should be coming up, I believe. Miss Debbie, Tampa Bay Tech here? Yes. I'm coming down. Mr. Miranda's coming up. I'm coming down. Mr. Maniscalco, can you take the gown?
I'm back. All right. Chairman Goods is heading down to meet you at the lectern.
Gentlemen, ladies, how you doing? Good. Wait till Mr. Miranda gets in the box up there, and then we'll proceed.
Mr. Chairman, you are a Tampa Bay Tech graduate?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, in just a moment, sir. All right, Councilman Miranda's in the room. Take it away, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen. Again, it is my distinct pleasure. I'm very humble, and I'm very overjoyed in the accomplishment of this ball club, Tampa Bay Tech High School, which I'm still upset that they changed the name. Because when I went to school there, sir, and graduated, it was Tampa Bay Technical Vocational, and they changed the name to Tampa Bay Technical now. But that's all right. You know, it is one of the leading vocational schools around the country. You just can't get in. Everyone has a purpose to go there because they are career-driven. But for me to witness a ball club that I played on and hadn't won a game in many, many years when I went to school, and we won our first game against Tampa Catholic, your alma mater, Mr. Maniscalco. Juan Cherry was the quarterback. Tampa Bay Tech had no home field. We had no field at all, no stadium when I played. Juan Cherry was the quarterback that year, and Gail Sears was the sports anchor in Tampa, Channel 8. And we beat Tampa Catholic High School that night. And that kind of broke the tradition of losing at Tampa Bay Tech. I was happy to play with Sean Smith, who was the county's leading rusher for many, many decades, with 501 yards rushing in one game against East Bay High School. That game was played at Brandon High School because we had no field. But for me to have seen this program build for many, many years and get close, and to be able to go to a state championship, vocational high school state championship in Florida, and play a team that most consider is a college level program. St. Thomas Aquinas. They go to the state every year. So there are no newbies to the process. Most of all you professional athletes in that down south go to St. Thomas Aquinas. They have the extra training, the extra facilities. It is what it is. But I'm proud of this organization. I'm proud of the coaches and the young men who fought and fought. I believe the record was, you were, what, 14-1 coaches? Was it? 14-1. You need to win 5 games to get to a state title game. When I played, it was called, and when I coached, it was called 5 scoops. 5 scoops. So today, I'd like to recognize the young men and the coaches for what they've done to bring a sense of joy, of pride, Titan pride, to Hillsborough County, because all the Titans were there. I know you had buses go there. Wish I could have gone, but I did make a ball game to see the athleticism of these young men play, and they were dynamic, I tell you. So if I could have the coach come up, head coach, the head man, I always say the head man, and the principal, and I'm going to let them say a few words, and then I'll read the accommodation, and you can just do some of the ball players, Coach.
Sounds good, sounds good. Thank you for having us this morning. We're very appreciative to the City Council for inviting us and bestowing this great honor on us. I would like to introduce who we have with us today. Obviously, we have our principal, Ms. Ernestine Woody Bethune, our team captain, DJ Porcher, offensive lineman for us. Another team captain, Keon Clark, defensive end. Our starting quarterback, Xavion Washington. Our starting defensive tackle, Dante Drew. Starting inside linebacker, Jaden Church. And our starting center, Jay Sean Scott. Yep. And my athletic director, how can I forget the man that put it all together for us? Our athletic director, Mr. Trayvon Mitchell.
Madam Principal.
We are very thankful to be here today. Tampa Bay Tech is not only an athletic powerhouse, but we're also an academic powerhouse. And these young men prove that every single day when they're at TBT. TBT has been one of the only schools in Hillsborough County that has maintained an A or B for the last 15 years. Not many other schools can say that. On top of that, Jason Roberts has been an outstanding coach. He shows what perseverance is all about, and so do these young men. Thank you, City of Tampa, for this proclamation.
All right, without further ado, Tampa City Council accommodation presented to Tampa Bay Tech football 2021-22 season. The Tampa City Council is honored to present this accommodation to Tampa Bay Tech and the head coach Jason Roberts and the assistant coach Anthony Palmer, who assisted Tampa Bay Tech Titans to achieve the first undefeated regular season in school history. Become back-to-back district champions, achieve 14 consecutive wins, won the first regional championship in school history, as well as the first state semifinal game victory in school history, and the first state final game appearance in school history. Ranked number 1 in the entire state in the RPI ranking system. Ranked number 2 in the state 7A, Max Prep. That's pretty huge. Max Prep and final ranking 77 in the nation per NFLplayfootball.com. That's very impressive, Coach. Very impressive. We recognize that the Titans had an amazing season and recognize the brilliance of the players, productivity, and coaches' preparations. Given the fact that the majority of the season, 17 out of the 22 starters were underclassmen. Wow. Including 3 freshmen. It is with pleasure Tampa City Council presents this accommodation to Tampa Bay Tech Titans football team. Congratulations, Coach. That's very impressive.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll take a picture down the photo. Gentlemen?
All right, I'll start with Council Member Vieira.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Goods, thank you for bringing this forward, Tampa Bay Tech. Thank you for all that y'all do in the community just graduating generations of individuals who go into the community and work hard. And one of y'all's alumni is Tampa City Councilman Orlando Goods, and that's great. I know that, Chairman Goods, this is very personal for you for putting this forward, so I appreciate that a great deal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Councilman Carlson.
Yeah, thank you for all you do to the principal and others to create such a great school and great athletic program. The school is very well known and contributes so much to the community. And congratulations to you all, and thanks for representing Tampa.
Councilmember Miranda.
Thank you very much. To Chairman Goods, alumni from that fine institution and high school, what you've done is excelling in sports. However, what was most satisfying to me was when the young principal came up and said that academia. And when you have a school that has excelled in sports, you can almost parallel it that it will excel in academia. I don't know why that is, but when you see people who do not want to lose, individuals like yourself, every sport is an individual collective game, meaning that you do the best you can as an individual, but you play as a team. And when you play as a team, that's what life is all about. And in academia, you work together and also you work alone to achieve the status of that school that you go to. So I want to congratulate you on 2 fronts. Congratulations to you in sports and in academia. God bless you and go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Miranda.
Thank you, and I'll wrap it up by saying congratulations. I can say with confidence that the future of our community is bright, looking at the gentleman behind you. And although I don't know any of you personally, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of your success. I think you all have very, very bright futures. You make this community proud. As was already said, Tampa Bay Tech with an A or B grade for the last 15 years. Councilman Miranda said it, academia, the importance of it. You are successful not just on the field, but in the classroom. And I know that you will have very, very bright future ahead, all of you, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. All right. We're going to take a photo on the staircase. Sounds good.
Okay.
Now I guess you guys switch over.
Yes, we'll wait for Chairman Goods to come back up. And Councilman Miranda, you're going down for the Eagle Scout? Very good. Yeah.
Well, we can say we're getting our steps in today, huh? Ms. Miranda has item number 10, correct? The Eagle Scout? All right. UT's not here, I believe. That's odd. right, there's Mr. Miranda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm honored today to be here with an individual that I've known for a few years. In fact, I remember sometime back when he received his Eagle Scout ranking, and I thought that was an unbelievable thing to do, and very few young men in the Boy Scouts receive the Eagle certification. However, in this case, Thomas Barton Weiss II was about this big when I saw him last time. And now, look at what he's accomplished. He is a triple Eagle Scout. And you know, Tom, if I may call you Thomas, I've heard of a lot of things that triple, like a triple play, like a triple double in basketball, like shooting 3 eagles in a golf game, like just a lot of things in sports. But I have never honestly can say that I've heard of a triple Eagle Scout. So before I make this presentation to you, can you explain to the public what is a triple Eagle Scout?
Thank you, sir. A triple Eagle Scout is, you cannot earn Eagle Scout 3 times. So what I did was, there are 3 aspects of scouting. There is Boy Scouts, there's Sea Scouts, and there's venturing. So for Boy Scouts, last time I was here, I had earned Eagle Scout. Then I went into Sea Scouts and I earned Quartermaster, which is the Eagle Scout equivalent in Sea Scouting. And then I earned the top rank in venturing, which is the equivalent of Eagle Scout and venturing. So that altogether, very easily explained, is a triple Eagle Scout.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because at first when I read it, I said, he didn't take the same course 3 times. I know Thomas very well. So I let him explain what he's done. And what is done, what you have done, completed, is really something that I have never heard of it. That doesn't mean it's common or not common, but your accomplishment in doing this is your desire to always keep moving and doing better things. And a Boy Scout always tries to help people out, to do leadership work, and to complete this long journey that you've been through. I see your parents in the background, and they are just thrilled to have you as a son. And what you've accomplished is, and we've done a lot of sports things today, but what you've done is, to me, just as great as winning a state championship or a national championship, because you devoted your time to make the lives for people a little bit better. And I can just look ahead and close my eyes and think what you're going to do after you finish. Are you in high school?
I'm in college, sir.
You're in college. Well, you should be a doctor right now, because you're excelling, and you're doing things that, and what are you majoring in?
Entrepreneurship right now.
Well, that's a great thing to do, and I know one thing: if you ever join the ranks of wanting to run for public office, individuals like me don't stand a chance, because you have it all. You have the ability to serve, and let me just read what this presentation says. The Tampa City Council is honored to present commendation recognizing your singular achievement of becoming the first triple Eagle Scout of the Boy Scouts of America organization. We appreciate your dedication and commitment to your family, to your community, and to your country. You, sir, join the ranks of a select few, including the first person to set foot on the moon, Neil Armstrong, and the 38th President of the United States, Gerald Ford, Hollywood director Steven Spielberg, and the NASA shuttle astronaut, Michael Fossum. It takes strength, character, leadership, and service to others to do what you have attained. And we in the city of Tampa are very proud to present this on the 8th day of February 2022 to you, sir.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to thank City Council for this accommodation. Thank you very much. The only thing I'd really like to say is that I hope to serve as an example to my peers and those who come after me. What kicked off my scouting journey was a scout himself had just earned Eagle when I joined the troop, and he had earned it at 14 but wished that he had earned it at 13, and was very vocal about that. And that set my goal, and I wanted to earn it at 13. So I went and accomplished that. And it only takes a little bit of momentum. So I hope that those who come after me, the scouts that are younger, look to their goals not as being lofty and unachievable, but as being very achievable. And the best way to put it is, everything that I've encountered in life is you get out what you put in. And if there's a job worth doing, like my parents always say, it's worth doing well. And if you have that mentality and you have a growth mindset, nothing can stop you, and you will achieve your goals.
Well, again, thanks again for what you've done, and just your speech alone tells me success will always be within your limelight, because what you want to do is make everything around you better. Congratulations again.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Miranda, Mr. Miranda.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking way ahead. This is the second mistake I've made today, and I usually make 3 or 4, so only 2 is enough for me. The council would like to speak to you.
Gentlemen, Mr. Vieira.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And Thomas, I saw this on the agenda, and our good friend, who I believe is a neighbor of y'all's, Maggie Wilson, I always call her the Prime Minister of Tampa Palms, sent out an email on your achievement. I wanted to commend you. You speak so well, and I'm a father myself, and you know it's things like this that when you see your son or your daughter, your children, just come into their own and be their own person and have their own voice, right? It just makes you proud as a parent. And so I vicariously, so to speak, just see that for your parents. And so God bless you. Let me ask you, where you go to college and where'd you go to high school?
I was homeschooled through middle school and high school. I was
Okay,
homeschooled
cool.
since the 4th grade, and I go to college at University of South Florida. I'm a sophomore.
Okay, great. Good for you. That's awesome. I went to USF, so yeah. Yeah, it's just so pivotal, the things you talk about. And, you know, it's funny. A lot of people, when they criticize somebody for being too honest or ethical, they go, you're being a Boy Scout, you're being an Eagle Scout. And I go, what's wrong with that? In the sense that, you know, that's something that we should all aspire to. Is to be honest, is to be decent, is to be kind, to be trustworthy. I remember my son did PAC 180 at Childs, where he went for many years. Loved Childs to death, great school. But the things that scouting stand for, which you embrace as a triple Eagle Scout, are so pivotal today. They're pivotal tomorrow. They'll be pivotal forever. The values of character, the values of patriotism, loving your country, and working hard to improve your country and the welfare of your fellow countrymen and women. Respect for tradition, respect for faith in God. Those are things that Eagle Scouts stand for. And Councilman Miranda went over some great people, President Gerald Ford, Steven Spielberg, who today was nominated for an Academy Award. So just congratulations for that, sir. And to your family, God bless you guys. I know that y'all are proud, and it makes me happy just to see this. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, sir. President Ford has been mentioned. He was an Eagle Scout. And let's not forget Neil Armstrong as well. So if anybody tells you the sky is the limit, you tell them that an Eagle Scout was the first to set foot on the moon. So the sky is not the limit. You can achieve anything you want. You as an Eagle Scout, as a triple Eagle Scout, know this. And your dedication to service, I had to ask, just like we all did, what is a triple Eagle Scout? I mean, what level do you have to achieve? And you've explained it to us, and congratulations on that. You know, I've said it before to other people that have come before us today, but you have a very, very bright future. And remember, the sky's not the limit, because an Eagle Scout did walk on the moon. So you can do anything. You know this. And glad to hear that you're at USF. Councilman Vera and I are both graduates. Go Bulls. You make our community proud. And I know your parents standing behind you are very, very proud. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep. Congrats to you and your parents for this great accomplishment. You're obviously very driven and very smart, and we want to make sure you stay in this community. So don't let any other cities recruit you out as you're getting ready to graduate, or if you go to graduate school. outside of the market, please make sure you stay in touch with us because we'll convince you to come back and help you with the context you need to get involved in leadership in Tampa. We need more smart leaders like you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I attended the first Eagle Scout ceremony maybe a couple of months ago in South Tampa. I didn't know such a thing, but I know just to be an Eagle Scout, it's a lot of work. So to be a triple Eagle Scout, man, you just touched the bar, and congratulations. You know, you're making the city proud, and you look at all the folks that have been to the podium today. Our young people are very, very exciting. They're making Tampa a place that just putting us on the map of what we're doing, and we're just proud to have you here. Thank you so much, and thank you again, Mr. Miranda, for recognizing it.
Thank you.
All right. Who has the Little League? Mr. Miranda has the Little League as well? Okay. I think UT didn't show up, I believe. We're just waiting on Mr. Miranda to come back into the room. Mr. Miranda, Charles is done. Pardon me? What about it? Yeah, that's going to be in March, remember? Yeah, because we put 9 in place of 4, remember? So 1 and 4. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we can do it now. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to continue item number 4 to
March date. Second by Mr. Maniscalco, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion granted. Miss Debbie? Wait on Mr. Miranda. I need Mr. Miranda. I need Mr. Here he comes. Okay, here he comes. I got him. Here he comes. Is UT here, Miss Debbie? Is University of Tampa volleyball here? They're not here. Okay, all right.
Wow, you know, you do one and then you do another one, and you say can't be any better than this. And then you get to this young lady here with all smiles.
All smiles.
And with the knowledge at 9 years old to change the complexion of a department. That's something I don't think any council member could do. But this is a special day, and the 8th day of February of 2022. And we have with us Evangeline Marlo Arasi. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, well, let me tell you what this lady's done without reading this commendation. This lady realized, this young lady at 9 years old, realized that when she wanted to play on the softball field at one of the local parks, it was taken, I guess. And there was a bunch of you that wanted more recreation, but somebody already had it. So you said, how can I change this? And what did you do?
I wrote to the mayor.
You wrote a letter to the mayor. And what did that letter say?
Can I fill out?
No, and basically just says, Mayor, I need your help.
Yeah, it basically said like, Dear Mayor Jane Castor, there's like a situation with inequality and there's like not a ton of softball fields and a lot of baseball fields and girls need more softball fields to play on.
And what you've done is you changed the complexion of things were done yesterday and how things are going to be done tomorrow. And very few 9-year-olds or 90-year-olds have a chance to do that. And you've done it at 9. So it's an amazing thing what the pen can do. And you wrote the mayor, and the mayor wrote that. She said, my God, I didn't realize we were in such dire. And then the two ladies behind you are the ones that are helping you in the recreation department to make things better.
Yes.
You're right. So today is your day. You've changed the way the city of Tampa has done things for many years, and now a lot more of what? Softball fields are going to be available for the young ladies to play on. Yes. And you know what? That's called woman power. And you're a leader. And I've never met a leader at 9 years old as strong as you are, viably, mentally, and getting ready to do much better things for the city as you mature a little bit.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. And there's two ladies here that have challenged me. You heard the chit-chat in the background all the time that they're going to beat the old man, they're going to do this to the old man. But I'm going to invite you, when that day comes, I'm going to call you and your family to see what really happens. Because I think that, you know, look, this is very cheap, but what you've done with a pen changes the complexion of life. And we're so happy that you've done that because you made things happen in the city. And let me just read this. The Tampa City Council wishes to recognize Evangeline Marlowe for her personal efforts in bringing to the city's attention the need for softball fields dedicated to the use of Tampa's young ladies. Evangeline Marlowe recognized the need and wrote directly to Mayor Jane Castor outlining the need for more girls' softball fields because, in her words, it's not the 1800s, am I reading here? I didn't know you were around in the 1800s. Wow. Anymore, and girls would like to play sports too. To that end, the mayor has seen it that Evangeline Marlowe will obtain her wish and more softball fields everywhere. Well done, Evangeline Marlowe.
Thank you.
You have set a standard that would be very difficult to change because you have made all the changes by yourself.
Thank you.
So you are individual and a team effort all together. All the ones that we did here in other sports was a team. You are individual and a team effort for all the young girls that you've helped out so they can play softball.
Thank you.
And here you are, presented to you today, and we're so thankful for what you've done. Council?
Gentlemen, Spear.
Thank you, Councilman Miranda, for bringing this up. And Evangeline, congratulations on this. Number one, that's a beautiful name, Evangeline. You don't see that a lot. I know there's a spa named, a beautiful spa named Evangeline, I believe, in South Tampa for folks. And but just congratulations on this. And you know, at 9 years old, like Councilman Miranda said, to be able to affect such wonderful change is a big deal. And I see your family there, and I know they're very, very proud of you. And that's a great thing to have. So congratulations, young lady.
Thank you.
Ms. Pascalco.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for making your voice heard. It was heard by the mayor and by the city, and you are impacting change. Doesn't matter how old you are, you spoke, and the city of Tampa listened, and they're responding in a positive way. And here you are, your family's with you. They're very proud. We're very proud. And keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your leadership, and congratulations on this, and congratulations for accomplishing something for all the teams that are and people that are going to be playing there. I hope you'll continue your advocacy and stay in touch with us if we can help in the future with any issues that you come up with. And also, after you graduate college, be sure to stay in Tampa or come back in Tampa because we need strong leaders like you. Thank you.
Well, we always have some trailblazers, and you're going to be remembered forever for getting softball fields in all of our baseball complexes, which is fabulous. We always like trailblazers. And gentlemen, can you remember a couple of years ago the young lady when we had the Men at Work signs, and we had that change? It was a young lady that had that change. You remember that? So it's remarkable what our young people see today for changes, like the 1800s. So we're proud of you, and thank you for bringing this to our attention. And again, thank you for your parents for bringing you here. And I'm going to ask the recreation director and her manager, can I get some grass at Belmont Hike Little League? But again, thank you all. And again, thanks for doing this. Thank you, Ms. Miranda.
Thank you. Thank you very much again. Congratulations to you for being everything. You have changed a lot of things that we do in the city of Tampa. So when I'm upstairs and I got some real bad decisions to make or good decisions to make or things that I'm not certain about, I'm going to give you a call. Thank you very much.
All right. And I believe, again,
the department here that changed, she changed this department, so I'm going to have the two young ladies who run that department who are challenging me to it. I'm not going to say it.
We'll schedule that challenge later. Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Just wanted to take the time to thank Evangeline for changing the narrative of how we do things. As an athlete, Heather and myself, we understand the need for girls to have that opportunity. And all she did was really shed that light and really pushed us. So I thank her for challenging our department, for taking this lead, and like Ms. Miranda said, for changing how we do things. So for us in Parks and Rec, we kind of want to make her an honorary staff person with us. And on the back it says game changer, because that's what she does. So there you go, that's for you. But we truly thank you for bringing this to light and really challenging us. And we ask you to keep pushing us to make sure that this keeps moving forward. This is nothing that's going to stop. It's very fitting on the 50-year anniversary of Title IX for women that this is happening, and you're having it this year. But we say, please keep pushing us, and we make sure we keep changing the narrative. Thank you so much, Council, for acknowledging her.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Miranda, I think you was going to do something for UT, but UT is not here, correct, sir?
Yes, sir. And they, after the meeting, they would like to take a picture with the council if it's permissible.
Okay, sir. All right. All right. Any other business, gentlemen? Pardon me?
I have one more thing to say.
Okay, she's got one more thing to say.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's helped me, especially Heather and Sharisha, because I couldn't have done this without them. They really gave my voice a megaphone, but we're not done. So if you guys could help us, because we want to build more fields, that would be really great.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Miranda, did you want to, are we going to continue that item, the UT volleyball, sir?
I'm sorry?
Are we going to continue the UT volleyball? Do you have another date for that, or are we going to continue that, or?
I'll continue that, yes, sir.
All right, so we'll continue it. Motion to continue. Motion by Mr. Maniscalco, second Mr. Carlson. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion granted. March. All right, motion received and filed, Doc. No, oh, Madam Clerk said we don't have to do that today. That'll be Thursday. Okay, all right. Move to adjourn. Adjourn, gentlemen. Thank you.
But I think this is excellent progress. It's good to see all the progress and the design efforts here. So I think you're going in the right direction. And I think street sections, the roof of the pedestrian walkway. A little concerned about the if you're gonna on your parking garage, if you're gonna have light